New York Comic Con wrapped up this weekend, and with that comes a whole host of new and exciting titles.
Not least of all, a Scott Snyder and Jim Lee Superman miniseries.
So first up, we have news from Image Comics. From over there, we've got Grant Morrison working with them again. He's currently doing a 4-part miniseries called Happy, and in Grant Morrison's ever-present meta style that he seems to have with everything these days, he follows on with Annihilator.
Tell me about Annihilator.
I will tell you about Annihilator, sir. It's about a scriptwriter who's, I mean, all the details are vague at the moment, but it seems to be about a scriptwriter who is struggling scriptwriter, and then one day police officer comes to the door, says, "Do you know this man?" And he's like, "Well, yes, it's one of the characters from my script." So it's quite an unusual premise, very Grant Morrison-esque. I mean, similar to Animal Man, similar to his newest book, Happy.
I think there might be also, I heard maybe like an element of Satanism in, like this writer maybe sold his soul to the devil kind of thing. He's, as you say, struggling and kind of...
It sounds very Grant Morrison.
It sounds very Grant Morrison.
Are you excited for that?
I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I mean, we're going to talk about two other indie releases, but I'm excited for these artists that have these, they have runs on big books, the biggest books, and then to go to these independent creators where perhaps they have more freedom to do what they want and to explore different avenues that they wouldn't necessarily be able to explore otherwise.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's where Grant Morrison's strengths lie is in his independent comic book writing.
It's where he shines.
Definitely. And then over in Vertigo, we've got Scott Snyder and Scott Murphy teaming up on a horror book called The Wake. Not a lot of details coming out about that, but I mean, Scott Snyder is a very busy man at the moment. He's all sorts
writing
of
all of the books.
He is. He's writing everything right now.
He's writing all books, and I'm okay with that.
So am I. However, he is taking a hiatus from American Vampire until the end of 2013.
I mean,
but we're not reading that, so we don't.
We're not reading that, although we hear that we should be. I mean, again, I think there's something. It's set underwater or something. There's, again, all these details are so vague. We've got
a while until they're coming. I mean, none of these come out until 2013.
Yeah.
So it's...
We hear about these kind of secondhand through different news sources. People are reporting on different things.
Well, and then finally, we've got probably what I'm most excited for, which is Jeff Lemire, Vertigo. The book's called Trillium, and the tagline for it is the last love story ever told.
Yeah.
Again, not many other details about that. Star-crossed lovers, space, Jeff Lemire's art, Jeff Lemire's writing. I'm in.
I'm so in for this. The artwork that's come out for it as well is unreal. Lemire is amazing.
The covers look beautiful.
If you haven't read Lemire's short story in
Legends of the Dark Knight
#1, which has just come out, then read it. It's a short Batman story. It's fantastic. He is writing and drawing this like he did Sweet Tooth for Vertigo, which was very, very popular. There are a lot of exciting indie things coming out at the moment, but there are also a lot of exciting Marvel things that are coming out.
Do pray tell.
Well, and mainly a lot of Avengers stuff. The Avengers movie was huge, or as it was called in England, Marvel's Avengers Assemble. It was so big, and as a result, the comic industry is really trying to hone in on that.
Yeah.
Find out what was so good about it and try and replicate it in any way they can. So Firstly, we've got the flagship Avengers book. Jonathan Hickman is writing it, and what we have here is, I mean, he describes it as Avengers for the characters that are in the film, but times 10 on a budget that Hollywood would never allow you. And,
okay.
and this is kind of for for people who've watched the film, and I mean, there's a whole debate between kids and who are comic books aimed at now. Are they aimed at adults? Are they aimed at kids? And I think this is an entry point. This is how we get in.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for that. It's not the one I'm most excited for. The one I'm most excited for, like so excited for, is...
Let me guess.
Yeah, you can guess.
Young Avengers?
It's Young Avengers.
Young Avengers.
I'm a huge Young Avengers fan, and what we're getting Kieran Gillen, who I love. His work on Uncanny X-Men has been fantastic, and Journey into Mystery, which ties into this. His Journey into Mystery run has been Kid Loki.
Yeah. And that is coming to an end just before the Marvel Now gets going, isn't it?
Maybe.
His run's ending anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the brilliant things he brought to that was Kid Loki, and now the story is that Kid Loki has come and got the Young Avengers together. He's got Hulkling, Wiccan, Miss America, Hawk Girl, I want to say.
I have not heard of
the girl version
any
of Hawkeye.
of these characters.
You haven't read Young Avengers. It's amazing.
Never.
There is an absolutely amazing Brian Lee O'Malley cover for Young Avengers. It's a variant cover, and it is special.
It does look really, really good.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be buying it because I've never read the Young Avengers, and I'm quite excited to see what it's all about. And I like the character of Loki, and I don't know much about Kid Loki, so yeah, I'll definitely get on that.
It's great stuff. Another one by Hickman. New Avengers.
Busy man.
New Avengers, which is basically... Did you ever read the issue in Civil War where we have this kind of Illuminati Avengers thing going on, where a couple of members of the superhero community decide to take themselves out and make decisions for the greater good? It was like Professor X, Tony Stark, Black Panther.
No, I don't remember
Beast, I think, might have been in it. I don't really remember, but I think that's what... I might be completely
Is that
wrong.
the premise of New Avengers?
It's this kind of Illuminati deal. It's like a couple of guys who have decided to put it on their shoulders. Doctor Strange was another one, to kind of pull the strings of society. I'm not sure if it's the same characters, but I think it's the same kind of deal.
Okay.
It's another kind of... Yeah. But also, Remender...
Yeah.
Who I mentioned on Monday's episode that I'm loving his run on Uncanny X-Force, which is unfortunately coming to an end soon. But he is writing Avengers Assemble, which...
The current running book?
No, the new Marvel Now book. This is another Avengers book. Yeah, called Avengers Assemble. And this has been described, and this is all stuff that's coming out of New York Comic Con, different bits of quotes, what people are saying. This has been described as Shotgun Avengers. So we take a couple of Avengers characters, we don't know which ones yet, and we put a magnifying glass on them, and it's more their personality, it's deeper, more human.
Okay.
Look at their characteristics, look at them as people as opposed to this shiny, glamorous outfit. Maybe put a magnifying glass on their problems.
That does sound interesting, but being that the only Remender work I have read so far is Uncanny Avengers, and I did not enjoy Uncanny Avengers.
Yeah,
I might give him another go, but there's going to be so many Marvel Now titles coming out. I mean, we've got the Indestructible Hulk, we've got Thor, we've got Iron Man, we've got Superior Spider-Man starts in January. I just don't know if I have the time or money for Mr. Remender's book.
I was reading a blog, and it was a Q&A, and someone asked him about Deadpool, like if he would feature, and Remender was like, he keeps trying to pass himself off as Jarvis in the Avengers mansion. He says that Wolverine keeps telling him to go away, but he keeps turning up in a tuxedo and trying to serve them cheese, which...
And that's in this
no,
Avengers book.
Probably not.
If that is the case, then I will buy it, because that sounds amazing.
The big news...
Big...
is Scott Snyder, again, the kind of golden boy of comics at the moment, teaming up with... I mean, you don't really get a bigger artist than Jim Lee.
Not currently working, definitely not.
And writing a Superman miniseries, which a cover has come out for, and it
looks...
I'm excited for this. I am very excited for this. We were both, I think everyone was disappointed with Justice League. Jim Lee had trouble.
I was
maybe.
extremely disappointed with Justice League. I've now dropped that from my weekly buy list. It was just fill artists all the time because Jim Lee couldn't keep up with the schedule, which is understandable. He's a busy man. He runs DC.
It's an ongoing book, which is why it is so good, I think, that this is a mini.
Yes. When I first heard the announcement, I thought they were both jumping over to Superman, which worried me because I thought that meant Snyder would probably be leaving Batman, which I hope never happens.
It'll happen.
One day.
They've signed up for another year, right?
Yes, so that's good. I know they're going into February, that's for sure. But yeah, I like that this miniseries. In the New 52, have not really had a Superman book yet. There was Action Comics. I got the first 6 of those. I wasn't enjoying it. I enjoyed the first few, and then it all just kind of got too Grant Morrison-y, but with restraint, as far as I'm concerned.
I, on the other hand, loved Action Comics, but whatever.
Superman I didn't even bother getting because it looked terrible. The art wasn't great.
I read the first
writing
couple of issues.
Was meant to be pretty bad. So I've not had my Superman yet, and I'm excited to get him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think that's enough news for today. I think we and you are probably all newsed out. Join us on Friday for our review of CW's Arrow. Very excited for that.
And we will see you then.